I personally believe if you have $5 million or more saved for retirement, for the vast majority of the people that we see, it's going to be way more than they ever need, even if they're actively drawing down on the portfolio.
The age-old question, do I have enough money to retire, is one that you are working to help folks answer every single day at Abich Financial. Also, something that we've talked about before is the obsession of the big lump sum that so many Americans have. And there has become certain stigmas around certain dollar amounts. A $5 million conversation has seemed to really reared its head, Abe. And is that what we need to retire? So let's discuss.
Here's a random example. Let's just say you have a married couple in their 60s, and all they have is Social Security checks and $5 million in 401ks and cash and stuff like that. The average Social Security check is around $2,100. It's like the average across America, right? It's around $2,100 a month. You're married. Let's say the check was identical. It's not going to be, but sometimes it's pretty close. That would be, about $50,000 a year in guaranteed income until the both of you pass away. Let's just say it's $60,000, right? And your average check is about $2,500 a month. $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year. Most people that we find, if they had $10,000 a month net in their bank account in retirement to spend and enjoy, is more than most people will need and want. Because remember, the person or couple and family that has gotten to $5 million has gotten to $5 million at retirement by not spending a lot of money over their working career. They worked hard for 30 to 50 years to get here. So they're continuing that mindset into retirement, and then they have what we call this spending problem because they have all this money, and this is where we're encouraging them to spend. Let me take a step back. Let's say you've got $50,000 to $60,000 in guaranteed Social Security income until both of you pass away. If you need $10,000 a month net in your bank account, or want $10,000 a month net in your bank account to live comfortably, then you need around $150,000 a year gross income before any deductions. Okay. Let's say your Social Security equals $50,000 to $60,000 of that $150,000. That means you would need $90,000 to $100,000 a year from your $5 million portfolio to get you to that $150,000 gross. Now, obviously, you need that to be inflation adjusted, but let's look at some percentages. $100,000 a year, if you have $5 million, is only 2% per year. Your portfolio only needs to make 2% and maybe a little bit more to adjust for inflation, right? Maybe, let's say it's 4%. Your portfolio only needs to make a few percent, and you don't need to take on a lot of risk to have a return in the low single digits to do that.
Right. Okay.
$100,000 on top of your $50,000 to $60,000 per year in Social Security is $150,000 in gross income. You pay taxes, you're probably looking at close to $10,000 a month net. That does the trick for the vast majority of the population. Now, you may be saying, well, I didn't save $5 million just to have $20 million in my 90s and not enjoy it, Abe. I would love to create $250,000 a year. Well, with a $5 million portfolio, you could, because 4%, this is a common 4% rule, right? The 4% distribution and withdrawal rule. It's a common rule of thumb. It's not something we follow to a T, but it's something to be mindful of and aware of as you get to retirement. What retirees don't know and understand typically is how to get those dollars out of your portfolio safely, how to get them to last you the rest of their lives, right? So 4%, or the idea behind the 4% rule, is that, if I can make 7% long-term or 6% or 8%, well, I'll be ahead of my withdrawal at 4%, and my portfolio will grow, but I can also enjoy income off of my portfolio every year. 4% of $5 million is $200,000 a year. $200,000 plus your Social Security, maybe that bumps you up to $250,000, $260,000 in gross income. Now you're talking about way more than $10,000 a month net. You might be talking about $15,000 to $18,000 a month of net income, and that is a lot of income. You have to be getting after it. You have to be traveling. You have to be gifting. You have to be, buying a second home. You have to be doing a lot of things to be spending $15,000 to $18,000 a month of net income. Okay. Right? I mean, we've met with thousands of families. We have over 1,000 clients. We see this every single day.
Got it.
Let's take a step back again. $5 million, your Social Security, 3%. If you were just to take 3% per year out of your $5 million portfolio, that's $150,000 a year of portfolio income, interest, dividends, what have you, withdrawals. Add in your Social Security again. Now you're at $200,000+ a year of gross income. What is that going to equal? Somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000 of net income in your pocket, in your bank account, after taxes, to spend and enjoy. This is why I personally believe if you have $5 million or more saved for retirement, for the vast majority of the people that we see, it's going to be way more than they ever need, way more than they'll ever get through over their retirement, even if they're actively drawing down on the portfolio. Now, obviously things can happen, but just assuming we have a pretty normal retirement, then that's a good bit of money saved. If you've got 10, 15, $20 million or more, I mean, that's a whole nother category.
Right.
Heather, I've seen people successfully retire with less than $1 million, less than $1 million. I can think of one lady in particular right now who has about $150,000 a year of guaranteed income, Social Security, federal pension, military pension, and VA disability. 4 sources of guaranteed income, $150,000 a year, inflation adjusted for the rest of her life, all backed by the federal government. And she's got about $700,000 to $900,000 saved. It's more than she'll ever need.
She probably doesn't even need the savings, because that's another question I was going to ask. Some of the things that you brought up, valid points. Your Abich Financial Services offices are in the DC metro area. So for obvious reasons, you work with a lot of government employees. There are a lot of people. We do talk about how pensions are an unfortunately dying part of many Americans' retirement plans, but particularly for government employees, they're still a very viable source of income. And for people that had pensions, they might have savings that they don't even need.
That's right. That's right. And so, hey, if you've got $5 million saved and then you've got Social Security and a pension on top of it, I mean, it's just it's a good bit of money. It's a good bit of money, right? Unless you're just planning on spending every penny down, and bouncing the last check, and that's up to you, and that's fine as well. But most couples that we see coming in with $4, $5, $6, $7 million with some Social Security and things like that, they're going to have a spending problem. And if they're not spending enough, this whole thing compounds and the whole pot continues to grow and grow, which isn't a bad thing, trust me. But it can increase taxes for these people down the road with RMDs. It can cause more taxation for children, grandchildren as you pass the dollars on. Some people care about that. Some people don't. But we really encourage, when we see these people coming in, our clients coming in with $5+ million, we really encourage them spending. We really encourage spending, especially in those go-go years. You've got your go-go years, slow-go years, and no-go years. You want to be spending, traveling, gifting, doing everything you want to do with your money as much as possible in that first 10 to 15 years so you can take advantage of it. But this, again, is why I personally believe that anyone with $5 million or more in investable assets, excluding real estate, I'm talking cash, 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, 403bs, etc. It's typically way more than a retiree will ever need to last them over their lifetime. And people have to have this mindset shift. We talk about this a lot on our shows, Heather. This mindset shift and switch from just, okay, I'm climbing up the mountain. I've gotten to retirement. Yes, we want to continue to grow our money, right? We can live another 30 years, but we also need to enjoy it. And we need to turn this big bucket of money into income so we can get safely down our own retirement mountain. We need to start thinking and shifting from pure growth to growth and income. How can I now enjoy? I've just worked for this for 40 years. How can I enjoy it? How can I enjoy this $5 million or whatever it is you've saved and have it last me the rest of my life? You've got to have a plan to make that happen.
TheRetirementKey.com is our website, and where you can go to start the conversation with Abe and his team. We also have links posted in the show notes. Also, grab the book, The Retirement Mountain. Abe, you were just talking about it. That's what you named your book, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement, an easy read, just a little over 100 pages, a great way to begin the thought process. All of the mind changes that you need to make is by reading the information in this book.
That's right. That's right. Really can help someone that hasn't retired yet or just early into retirement be aware of all the things they need to be aware of as they transition to retirement. One of those main things is turning your big bucket of money, your life savings, into enjoyable income.
Yeah. Empowering you with information is the goal of Abe and his team through the book, through the review process. Links to the book for you to access. You can purchase or download free copies of the book. As I was saying, goals for Abe and his team is to empower you with information about what you worked so hard to earn and save. Now it's time for you to enjoy it. Let's get to work on that, helping you enjoy your savings in retirement. It's theretirementkey.com, or just click on the links we got posted in the show notes.